Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own party in Facebook step by step. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, whatever you need to do in order to stay caught up. And I'm going to try to go slowly enough that you can keep track, but not so slowly that this video takes forever. So let me share my screen. Let's see. Sorry, just one second. Perfect. All right, so let me open Facebook. And we want to create a brand new party. So I'm going to go up here to the top in this blue bar where it says create, and I'm going to come down to group. I personally like using groups more than any others because of the flexibility the group gives me. Whenever I name my group, I always use an emoji to make the notifications that will come to the guests and the host stand out more than any other notifications, all right? So all you have to do for that is open a brand new window, and let's use, let's see, next month is April, it's Easter, let's do a bunny emoji. All right, so I literally just typed in bunny emoji. The very first one that shows up is Emojipedia, maybe because I use it all the time, but this is one I recommend. All you have to do is click on it. And what's really nice is all you have to do is click this copy button, and the little bunny face is copied. Come over to here to name your group, and all I do is I hit Control V Victor, Control V to paste. I do hit the space bar just so that there's a little space after that bunny. And then I will put the name of my hosts, Virtual Pampered Chef Party. And then I'll do another space, and I'm going to do another bunny. You can name your parties whatever you want. I tend to put virtual in the title so that people know that this is not happening in person. Okay, I tab down to add some people. You always have to add at least one person before the group can be created. Do not add your host yet. Add somebody like maybe your upline, add your husband, wife, girlfriend, friend. You can take them out after you get your host added, but we don't want your host getting a bunch of notifications until the party is ready for her. I think about this as like we're decorating the house before the party. We don't want the host to see all of the cleaning behind the scenes, okay? I happen to have a second dummy Facebook profile that I created just to keep me out of Facebook jail, okay? The next thing you're going to want to do is click this button right over here and pin it to shortcuts. My pins are all full at the moment, so I can't do that, but I'm going to show you what this does in just a second, okay? If I were to pin this group, you're going to see it come over here on the left side. Do you see the word shortcuts right there? All of my pinned parties, these are all parties that I'm working on right now. They're saved so that if I have to go to a party group really quick, all I have to do is click on that name and it's right there for me. Shortcuts are fantastic. Okay, so my party is created. The first thing I tend to do is upload a cover photo. So I'm going to click on upload photo here. And this is one of the circumstances when you are going to have a folder on your computer with pictures in it so that you can upload from it, okay? I have one called Virtual Parties, and inside Virtual Parties, I go to Setup, and from the party outline group, I have already downloaded pictures for setup, okay? And I'm going to take you to the party outline group here in just a minute, okay? And these are 3 beautiful cover photos that you can use right off the bat and add to your party. I just double clicked on that and we're adding it. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit and I'm going to click save. Now, I personally tend to add a little bit more information to my cover photo, but that is a tutorial for another time on learning how to use Canva, okay? Now, before we can start adding anything to this party, we need to do a little bit of cleanup behind the scenes. So right here under the cover photo, do you see the 3 dots where it says more? You're going to click on that and then edit group settings. This is where I scroll down just a little bit. This is a very important step if you're going to use CintShare. You have to add apps, and this does take a minute to load. You're going to find the app called CintShare, and you're going to add it to Facebook. This allows Facebook and CintShare to talk to each other so that CintShare can post into your party on your behalf. All I had to do is type in Cinch. Here it is. You just click on it. We are adding it to this group, and there it's done. Okay, so now CintShare and Facebook will be able to talk to each other. If I didn't do this, you would not be able to use CintShare with this group. I personally like to change the color just so that it looks a little bit different than all of the other groups that your guests might be in. This is just something I do. I do like to customize the address, and right here, usually again, I put the host first name and last name right here in the URL of Facebook, the Facebook group name. Now, as you can tell, this one's already taken. I can't use that name. So sometimes I'll just add PC to the end of it. All right, I have a lot of repeat hosts. I do not delete their old parties. So if my party name from a year ago, my Facebook group name was Jennifer Lewandowski, this year I would have to make it Jennifer Lewandowski PC. That's just a system that I've used, okay? So then I click Customize Address, and you can see up here in the URL, first name, last name, PC. But it does say edit because we're still in the edit group settings mode. But right there, instead of having a bunch of letters and numbers, random stuff, it's just a nice touch to make it look a little bit different, okay? The last thing I do is then I'm going to add a picture other than the 3-person. Let's make it a dice. From here, you gotta scroll all the way down and hit save. And then you can either click the name of the party in here, or you can click discussion, whichever one you want. And that's going to take you back to the main screen, okay? So now the back house of the party is all set up and ready to go when it comes to adding CintShare. I do one more thing before I schedule my setup posts in CintShare, okay? I'm gonna leave this party open, or this Facebook page open, but I'm gonna open another Facebook page. And I'm going to go to the party outline group. So in this file, in this Facebook group is all of the materials you need for any of your parties. And if you go to files right here, there's all kinds of information that you will need for your party. And let's see right here, spring setup and closing outline. It's right there for you. So we're going to click on that so that it opens. And this is everything you need to do to set up your parties. Naming it with the emojis, there's your cover photo. And then the very first thing you need to add is this pinned, well, they call it the announcement now. And I'm going to hit Control-C to copy it. And I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to write a post, and I'm going to do Control-V to paste. All right. And now I'm a little OCD, so I've got to do a little cleanup. This didn't come through as well because of the PDF versus a Word file. So if you want me to send this document to you in a Word document, just let me know and I'll email you. All right. I just want to clean this up a little bit so that it looks good. So I'm just making sure it looks like an actual paragraph, not a bunch of weird squiggly lines and everything, okay? I'm not sure why it formats that way right out of the gate with PDF. Okay, that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for me, okay? Now, obviously, you need to do some editing in here, and I tried to make that very obvious with the capital letters. And so I'm gonna put my host name there. I'm not gonna tag her yet because she's not in the party. Make sure you edit the date so that it makes sense for your party, and then obviously put your own information down here. Okay, so there's one last thing. We need to insert the order link. All right, so I'm going to go back over to my Pampered Chef tab, which I have closed. Let me go back to my party. So in this preview page, it only shows you the most recent parties that are going on right now. So I need to go to see all parties and orders. There's me. So I'm going to go back over to this circle with the 3 dots, edit party page. Then I got to scroll all the way down, copy the link right there, go back to my party group, and I'm going to back out of this. And then I'm going to hit Control V to paste. One last step here. As soon as you're done pasting, hit your space bar. Okay? If you're using the first name and last name of your host, Facebook might tag your host in that link. If you let Facebook tag the host, it will no longer work as a link. All right? So just get in the habit of Control V space bar. Don't let it tag your host. And then typically, I'm not sure why it didn't do it this time, that beautiful picture that we chose in Pampered Chef shows up right there as the preview picture. Okay. Then in the upper right corner of this post, there's a down arrow. I want you to click on that, mark as announcement. That way, and now you're going to see all of a sudden, now there's 2 of this version. But here's the thing, this one will always stay at the top of your party, which is exactly what you want, okay? So at this point, I now want you to go all the way up to your URL bar up here at the top, and I want you to do Control C again, because I want you to copy that link, go back over to Pampered Chef. This is where we're going to insert the Facebook URL event. So Control V, V Victor, to paste, save it. And then now, hopefully it works. Great. So now you can see what the party link is going to look like whenever they come to Pampered Chef, okay? So the name of my party, shop now. But here's what you just did by putting that Facebook URL. If I were to click this, it takes me right into the party in Facebook. So that's a nice little feature to add to your party right here. All right. So at this point, you are either able to copy and paste all of the setup photos. Here are all of your setup photos. And I do like putting them in this order because I want them to show up opposite in the Facebook group. I want this notifications one and shipping, and then the credit card, raffle tickets. Make sure you're editing all of these. This is the graphic for the March special, so make sure you edit the picture for whatever month you're in. The catalog, the description, and then you're done, okay? If you want to manually do this and just copy paste from the PDF over to your Facebook group, you totally can, or you can use ScentShare, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a separate video, all right? Hopefully this helps.